competitions of all times, and you know surely now what I'm talking about, that's the Olympics, right? And we all get really excited about it, watching it, and didn't it just ignite some kind of competitive edge in us? It sure did. Well, are you feeling like you're going to be the next great athlete? What is the sport that you like? Is it running, 100-meter sprints? Is it swimming? How about the next Michael Phelps, huh? Not so sure? Well, not a problem, because you can always fall back on hot dog eating competitions. Yeah, I didn't think that I would be talking about hot dog eating competitions, but I am. Because around July 4th, it was broadcasted and I was watching it, and I was so surprised and intrigued that it kind of got me thinking, and I'm very competitive, my husband can attest to this, so I was really intrigued and I wanted to learn more about it. So here we go. I did all the homework, I researched it for you guys, so that you guys can be ready to enter the hot dog competition. So I was asking myself, what does it take for somebody to eat so many hot dogs in about 10 to 12 minutes? Why are the majority of them kind of slim? And what is the prize at the end? Well, if you guys have something to write, take out your notepad so we can write down the 5 points, because I don't want you to miss them. First one, probably very logical, stretch your stomach. It doesn't happen overnight. You will have to do it gradually, which means as time goes by, and they suggest about 2 months ahead of time, start eating more foods. And the foods that you're eating should be fibrous, like cabbage, watermelon, and make sure that you eat enough water as well. Write down your goals and run them by your doctor or dietitian, because not even a hot dog eating competition is worth your health, okay? Second point, and probably my favorite since I'm a personal trainer, exercise. You are working on extending your stomach, but you don't want to extend the fat, because the fat will actually make it more difficult for you to improve and win it. So, third point is practice technique. And when I was reading about it, there's a couple of techniques, but the ones that really stood out to me is one that Kobayashi uses, and it's called the Solomon technique, where he separates the buns from the hot dogs, breaks the hot dogs in half, stuffs them both simultaneously in his mouth, then takes the buns, dips them in water or 7-Up or Sprite, and then shoves it in his mouth without having to chew. And he does this over and over again. Imagine this is one of the techniques. The other one, you might like this one, it's kind of funny, it's called the wiggle technique. It's exactly what it sounds like. You're wiggling as you're eating, because you're trying to compact the food in your stomach so that you can fit more in. It's kind of disgusting, actually. Fourth point, gag reflex. If you have watched it on television, you've seen that after they eat a couple of hot dogs, they kind of start gagging. It's because it's the natural reflex of your body to want to gag, because you are actually protecting you against choking. So what are you going to do? It's not a competition where you're supposed to flavor foods. It's not Iron Chef. It's nothing like that. It's a competition where you really want to put your mind over the mat, so you want to practice that beforehand so you can be ready. But when you're practicing, practice with somebody there, because you don't really want to avoid this gagging, because it's really helping you. It's a natural reflex. Fifth point, and the last one, probably a logical one, is time yourself. You only have 10 to 12 minutes, so how many hot dogs will you be able to eat at that big day? You want to practice that and time yourself. I don't know how many times you have time during the week to practice it. So then, if you apply all these 5 points, you will be ready to be the next hot dog competition champion. And you can take home anything out of the pot that's $40,000. This year it was $40,000. And guess what? You don't have to be first or second or third. You can be fifth. And if you're fifth, you actually will be able to take home $1,000. It's a nice amount that you can put into your hot dog fund for next year, so you can eat enough hot dogs again. So in conclusion, whatever the sport is that you're in, if it's swimming that you're interested in, if it's running, whatever it is, or if it's hot dog eating, you want to keep one thing in mind, and that's to be willing and dedicated to give it your absolute best when the day is there. And I want to leave you with this in mind. Don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. Thank you for listening.